Welcome to Excel Essentials 101. Let's dive in and unlock the power of Excel together. In this video, we'll chat about how to do addition, averages, max, and minimum numbers. In this Excel example, we have imagine that you're in a car dealership and you have the sales of the number of vehicles per each month, all the way from January to December. And you have the number of vehicles that you have sold each month in that particular year. Now imagine if I want to do an addition. That means, what if I want to sum all these numbers together, right? So let's say I want to sum January plus February plus March plus April, and I can do this manual way. It's definitely going to give me the result, but it's not convenient at all. So what are those tricks that are pretty simple to use for you to do any calculations easily? The first step is additions. So if you go to your top right corner, you see something called AutoSum. So if you click on this, or if you click on the arrow, you'll see the sum, average, count numbers, max, or minimum. So let's say we choose sum. This function is equal to sum, open parenthesis, from the cell where you have the starting point all the way to the ending point of all those numbers that you want to do an addition for. So if we click on enter, we will have the sum of all the values. As simple as that. And let's write here. The next step, what happens if I want to do averages? So let's say I want to do an average of all these numbers here on the top. So I'll just go to my AutoSum area here at the top. I right click it and I'll click on average. So it's going to ask me for the average of all the values that are on top, but be careful. In this case, it's selecting all the numbers, including the sum. So when using this function, it's very important to ensure that whatever is highlighted into your cells are the values that you actually want to calculate. In this case, we know that we want to calculate for the whole year. So this square has to be moved. Either you can move the square, or if you can't move it, you can just put C15. C15 from C4 to C15, right? Now we know that this is the range that we want to calculate the average for. Now let's click on enter here. Great. So these are the average vehicles that you sell per month through that year based on this historical data. Now let's look at other type of calculations we can do with this. We can also count numbers. So let's use the count function. Let's go ahead, count numbers. And let's ensure that we're counting from C4 all the way to C15, right? Okay. By doing this, we're using the count function from C4 to C15. It's going to count all the numbers in this list, and it's going to provide 12. Since we have 12 months, it's going to provide 12 digits, right? Let's see what other functions we have here on top. We have the max function. So max, let's use it here. The max function basically provides the highest value of all your months. So which was that month where you sold the most vehicles? So that's what the max function is going to provide. 25. Which month is 25? May. In May was the month where you sold the most vehicles, right? Then if you choose the minimum function, which is right here, it's going to tell you the month in which you sold the less amount of vehicles. Remember, from C4 to C15, minimum. By using this formula, it tells you exactly, okay, the month that I sold the less vehicles was 10. And 10 was in August, okay? Now that's a quick way of how to use the AutoSum function and all these little functions that are out here. Today we have learned about the sum function, which is summing from a range of cells. We have used the average function, which is using average from a range of cells. The count function, which can only count numbers. You have calculating the max number of a set of data and the minimum number of set of data. Now, thanks for joining me on this Excel journey and keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, Excel skills open endless possibilities. See you next time in our next video.